The Vancouver Canucks have made yet another draft pick in the second round of 2026's selection. Niklas Aaram-Olsen is your 41st overall draft pick, which, of course, we have to acknowledge, was given to the Vancouver Canucks in the Kiefer Sherwood trade. So, big shout out over to Kiefer Sherwood. The San Jose Sharks sent their second round pick to Vancouver to make it work, and Niklas Aaram-Olsen is the prize for Vancouver, at least this year. We recognize there were 2 second round picks the Canucks received in that trade. Aaram-Olsen is 18, 6'1", 187, a left-handed winger, and the fact that he was taken 41 is a little bit of a steal. His consolidated ranking was 36th, although it should be noted Elite Prospects had him at 64th overall a lot later. There were a number of outlets that had him higher, though. Kennedy had him at number 30. You have Tony Ferrari has him at 37. Daily Faceoff had him at 43, so a little bearish there. And then Jason Bukala had him at 36 as well. Take a look at the numbers here. Aaram-Olsen suited up in this most recent season for Örebro, primarily in the junior league, getting 40 points in 29 games. That's a really good metric for a guy who is, of course, just 18 years old, who recently turned 18 years old, playing in Swedish junior territory. He even got a cup of coffee with Örebro in the SHL, 0 points, 16 games, but that's fine. Any 17, 18-year-old playing in the SHL is generally seen as ahead of schedule anyways. He suited up for Team Norway at the World Under-18s, getting 4 goals in 5 games played, and he also dominated for Team Norway at the World Junior D1A division, 10 points in 5 games over there. This is a player that, if you look at the EP scouting guide, they had him as a B-grade prospect with 6.5 out of 10 for his shooting. He is a speedy and skilled winger with legitimate goal-scoring potential through his shooting talent, a boom or bust NHL projection that could be improved with a better B game. Elite Prospect says that Aaram-Olsen has shades of Igor Chinakhov, a player that has been noteworthy in the NHL due to his rise up in talent. Chinakhov, with his time in Pittsburgh, certainly exploded onto the scene there, getting 18 goals and 18 assists in 43 games played. Aaram-Olsen, if he has a similar sort of trajectory, then I'd say that's a pretty good pickup for Vancouver in the 41st overall spot of this 2026 draft. Aaram-Olsen has been on scouts' radars for a long time, bolstering a top production track record. The Norwegian winger became a point-per-game scorer at the Swedish junior level last season and was further able to build on it in his draft year, being the league's 3rd most productive draft eligible on a point-per-game basis and seeing a bunch of SHL action too. It's his shooting talent that helped drive most of his offensive value this year. He was one of the main threats on Örebro's highly dangerous top power play unit, regularly flexing his ability to shoot on the first touch, whether off cross-slot feeds or same-side passes from down low. He has a variety of other releases in his arsenal too, being able to surprise goalies with well-placed inside leg wristers and pick corners after curling pucks around defenders off the rush. He was a highly contested prospect amongst Elite Prospect scouting staff. A lot of it came down to his two-way motor and overall play driving, both of which earned very mixed reviews depending on the game and the environment. At his best, like when he played with Norway's men's national team in February, Aaram-Olsen consistently flashed legitimate checking ability, took his defensive responsibilities seriously, and played with more pace with the puck. At worst, he mostly became an off-puck shooter with limited impact at 5v5. There's no doubt Aaram-Olsen having boom potential. He's technically gifted, and given that his shot is clearly NHL caliber, it's a tool that could earn him a half-wall spot on one of the power play units. If he's able to turn his forechecking and two-way flashes into a consistent strength while honing in on some of the decision-making issues, he's got the makings of a top-9 NHL winger. If not, he's still talented enough for a career in the Euro pro ranks. One of the better shooters in this year's draft class, rounded out his game with more of a competitive edge and physical presence. A nice compliment for his skill set to add in that willingness to throw his weight around. Another quality skater that gets around the ice well and has sneaky lateral ability to keep defenders guessing. I'm going to say it right here. Niklas Aaram-Olsen, with the 20 goals in 29 games he scored with Örebro. Fair to say this guy's like a discount Jonathan Lekkerimaki? I'm getting those vibes from him, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the Canucks drafting Niklas Aaram-Olsen with the 41st overall draft pick? I guess it makes sense, since Kiefer Sherwood, he wasn't really like the most well-rounded player either, but he was great with his goals, and that's the player that Vancouver got as one of the elements of the return of the Sherwood trade. Aaram-Olsen is a Vancouver Canuck, and I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.